Welcome to Under Two Capes. I'm Jared.
And I'm Lad.
And Lad's back! He's back!
I'm here.
Welcome
yes,
back, brother. I feel like I haven't seen you in years. I feel like you went to war.
I went into battle for a long while, busy with classes, but I finished. I'm back now.
And
so
he'll be back in the episode soon. So anyway, So today we're going to talk about the utter purge that's been going on with the CW and Zaslav that has been so entertaining to watch. Oh my gosh. It's like every day there's like 8 new series that just said, nope.
It's like a bloodbath over there.
It's more than a bloodbath. So the first couple of things that got canceled I was expecting, like Batwoman. I was like, yeah, that's getting canceled. Honestly, I called it Legends. By the way, I said it on the day that got announced. By the way, I had just done the interview with True 31, and the last thing I said on that interview was that, mark my words, Batwoman and Legends are next to be canceled.
Yeah. So obviously, when Crisis of Infinite Earth happened, that was really hype because they did a lot of cool stuff, and Arrow ended. It was like a peak. That was definitely like the peak of the ArrowVerse.
They brought in Ezra Miller.
They brought in Ezra Miller. They pulled all the stops. And we thought it could keep going after, even with Arrow gone, they could continue the shared universe. But it just didn't work out the same because you need to bring in new shows that tie in well with the old ones and kind of bring new blood. But the new shows like Batwoman and just wasn't sticking the same way, right? And they ended Black Lightning kind of early, but I heard that it was okay.
I still haven't watched it. I want to. I'm definitely going to watch it now because I actually heard that was one of the good ones.
I heard that too, right? And I actually saw like the character Black Lightning in a couple of Flash crossovers, and he's really
actually a really dope character in the comics as well.
I really like his character, and it's kind of a shame that only got 4 seasons, but maybe they ended on a good point instead of going too long. But the thing is, then Supergirl ended, which honestly probably about time for it to end because there was rumors that the cast was tired and that they would consider doing season 7 without having Supergirl in the Supergirl TV show.
Wait, I didn't know this.
Yes.
What?
That was something they had considered.
They were going to have Supergirl without Supergirl.
It was one thing the producers were thinking about. It was something the producers, they considered that option. I saw a post about it. I mean,
oh my gosh.
And other characters were getting tired and whatever. They finally decided that like, all right, we'll do 1 season. We'll do season 6, and that's the last of it. So, okay, finally it ended, and maybe for the best, but at least it got a proper ending. Like Black Lightning and Supergirl got proper endings when they both ended last year. They got proper endings.
Yeah, because I remember they did a panel at Fandom about the end of Supergirl, which once again, that show started really good. I really enjoyed, like, again, the first 2 seasons or so, I would say, because it was season 2 when Superman showed up, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
right.
That's around the time where I think it really peaked. Because I liked the interplay between him and John Jones because they were kind of antagonistic toward each other. And I had never seen that before. So I really liked that. And plus, that was my introduction to my number 2 tied with Henry Cavill for Superman because I love Tyler Hoechlin, even though his suit sucks.
Oh, I like his suit.
No. His suit, even in Superman and Lois, because it's like you can tell they're fake muscles because it'll bunch up in certain areas. And I'm like, like, what? I liked the one he had in Supergirl. That one was actually not that bad.
Really?
Yeah, compared to the one he has now. I mean, let me put it this way. It looked better in season 1 of Superman and Lois. The suit, I mean. Which I get. They don't want Superman to be kind of leanish because he should be jacked. He's Superman. But I mean, the way they do it now, because you can see the chest muscles bunched up, like he has chest things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so sorry. What were you saying?
it's definitely the problem with the suit, perhaps. That hopefully they can fix that a little bit going forward.
I'm sure they will because that show's super popular, and it's more likely that since it brings in fans, Zaslav will say, "Let's put more funding into that show."
Hmm. That's right. Um, so Arrow ended, then
Hmm.
Black Lightning, then Supergirl, and it's like, okay, those are some of the newer shows that ended, and we need the new blood, right? Like Batwoman and some new shows like Superman, Lois. They need to do well so they can carry on the legacy of the Arrowverse as the old shows retire.
Yeah,
But then Batwoman was really shaky. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, I think a lot
I'm
of
just gonna close my
people
door.
uh, weren't quite happy with some of the quality of it. I wasn't sold on the fact of having like this Batman ban for television where you can't have Batman like in a TV show. So we'll have Batwoman and Batman just disappeared. It just didn't feel quite the
Yeah, I
same.
know. Isn't that
Uh,
stupid?
it but I mean, okay, they're gonna do Batgirl. They had the actor, what's her name?
Oh,
Carly.
you mean the
Char-
original actor?
yeah,
It was
Rose something Rose.
it was like Ruby Rose.
Ruby Rose. Okay, so they had her. She showed up in the Elseworlds crossover and in Crisis of Infinite Earths. Okay, kind of cool. But the thing is, that whole controversy with her, she causing trouble. She also got injured, like almost broke her back. Like Batman actually, like she supposedly almost got paralyzed on set. And so with all those whatever, maybe she was also causing problems. She left after one season. And it's just they got a new character, and I bet people liked her, but it's just not, just replacing your main actor on the TV show is just already such a bad sign. That's
Oh yeah.
bad for
Immediately I was like, oh boy.
yeah.
And
So
then they did it in the stupidest way possible. Instead of just recasting,
yeah,
they invented a new character.
right. So that happened, and Batwoman canceled season 3. They didn't she and the thing is there was no proper ending. It's kind of sad, but they resolved most of the conflict and they left a little cliffhanger, but no proper satisfying ending. Okay, that was I think a lot of people saw that coming. And then we get the announcement that a couple hours later that Legends of Tomorrow is also canceled. And Legends ended on a cliffhanger and just not gonna get resolved now. Uh, the thing is, I remember with Legends, season 1 of Legends was so good, like so
Oh,
cool, like the
season
time
one,
travel.
multiple of that was one of the shows that kind of broke that mold, and that many of the seasons were good. That
Yeah,
was one of the shows that was like consistently really high quality in terms of writing, and I was like, I love this show so much. When Mick Rory is like a romance writer,
oh yeah.
that was so great.
I only watched up to season 2. I got tired out by season 3. I'll admit, but I really enjoyed the first 2 seasons. I really enjoyed the first season a lot more, but Legends was set up to have like a rotating cast, and that was something that was kind of hard to live with because they brought in characters and they dropped them really quickly. Like Hawkman, Hawkgirl, and other characters. But look here, they didn't give it a proper ending. But the problem is like, why do you even care about the TV show anymore? Because none of the season 1 or season 2 characters were left on the cast by the end, except for Sarah Lance. Everyone else had
No
already
one?
no, literally, like by the end of season 6, all season 1 characters were gone. Like Mick Rory was the last one to leave, and he was gone. Then at least they still had Sarah Lance and Nate, the
Yeah,
Steel.
I
They
love
still
that
had
guy.
him around. So it still had some of the classic feel because he was a bit, in the olden days. But then at the end of season 7, before they got cut off now, he left the team. So now it's officially only Sarah Lance from the original 2 seasons, which is kind of like the classic era to me. So
Mhm.
like to me, it's like, why do you even care? Like these characters are just I don't even need a proper ending because there's not even anyone left on the team that really matters.
There's no one I
Because there's just
care
like the new
about.
characters. Yeah, it's like everyone else has already gotten their ending. Everyone else has already gotten their happy endings, or they left the team, whatever. So it's kind of like it's just not the same. I bet some people are upset they didn't get proper ending, but okay. So now we have an issue because that means Flash and Superman Lois are
There's more CW shows that got like obliterated.
yes, a lot of non-DC TV shows got obliterated also.
There was one DC project that got. There's actually two
Ugh.
DC projects that got wiped out. So for those of you that remember, I'm going to jump in here.
Yes.
For some reason, they announced a Wonder Twins movie. Was it a
Yeah.
movie or a series?
It was a movie. I believe it may have been for HBO Max.
It was for HBO Max. So
Yeah.
they announced it, and they even announced the cast. So
Right.
they had a cast together. And then all of a sudden, it's like, nope, done.
Right.
And then, surprising no one, Naomi was canceled.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, for those of you that don't know, Naomi is a character that known DC scribe Brian Michael Bendis invented.
Mm.
So
Okay.
that should
Yeah.
tell you all you have to know about that character.
So Naomi is an interesting person because she literally didn't exist like 2 years ago. Like
Yeah, she didn't. She was invented
when I think it was Infinite Frontier, right?
No, before that, Bendis came in like 2019 or so, and then he invented her. She was on the Teen Titans beforehand. After Infinite Frontier, she was on the Justice League
I see.
because he was writing the Justice League.
Right. What she was invented like same time as Yara Flor, right? And stuff like
No,
that.
Yara Flor was after her, I believe.
Okay.
But it's like she's a character no one cares about. And I love how the writer of Naomi, who's also the writer of A Wrinkle in Time, that should again tell you everything you need to know, was like she's trying to find other mediums to talk about Naomi more in like visual medium, maybe like a movie. And I'm like, I think Zaslav is trying to say, establish the Justice League first, and then you can bring in the characters no one cares about.
Yeah. So I mean, the thing is, Naomi barely had any comic book appearances when they announced the TV show. So they really had no source material. And I think I heard someone mention that they basically kind of did their own thing. And it's kind of weird because she lives in the real world and she gets sucked into like the comics world or
So
something
she's
like that.
Gwenpool.
I'm not 100% sure. That may be wrong, but I think it's something like that.
You mean her origin? Her origin is that she's an alien.
Okay, an alien, yeah. So it had 13 episodes. I heard there was CGI was not the greatest, and now it's
the
canceled.
CW.
And so Naomi technically wasn't in the Arrowverse. It's like a DC TV show on CW, but it's not in the Arrowverse.
This is the first CW show that's been canceled after not 2 seasons, 1.
Yeah, it's definitely abrupt. I think a lot of people saw that coming because it's weird. I mean, it's a 13 episode show. It's gonna go down in history as like a weird show because it's just so little episodes. But now we have Flash, Superman, Lois, and Stargirl, which is kind of in a weird category because
that's actually good.
Right.
I saw only season 1, but it's really good.
Is it good?
It's really good.
It's okay. It's good. It's good.
Well, guess who the writer is? Jeff frickin' Johns.
Okay.
Which I know Snyderverse fans have their problems with him. I do too. But separating the art from the artist, Supergirl is real. I mean, Stargirl is a really good show. Probably because they actually care about it and not give it to the CW.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Because I think like they're giving some external funding maybe or something like that.
Because remember, it started off on the DC app.
Yeah.
It would be hilarious, by the way, if Zaslav announces we're bringing back Swamp Thing.
Right.
I'd watch that. That show was good.
Well, let's see. I don't know about
that got canceled. Wait a second. Here's the record. That got canceled before it came out.
That's really funny. Yeah.
I'm like, what?
That's a good record to fight against. So, looking at the Arrowverse now, we have Superman Lois, really popular, really great. Season 2's on right now. Season 3's confirmed. I hope they continue doing that. It's a great series from what I've heard. Flash is on season 8. You know, it's been tanking so badly. Flash.
I guarantee you, I'm gonna make another Jared prediction. That's gonna go.
Okay, so here, as a Flash fan, as a Flash OG, season 8 seasons have been tanking so horribly. They've been really bad. Season 8, on the other hand, has actually been some really cool storylines. Like their Armageddon crossover storyline was really cool, and they currently did like a Deathstorm storyline, which is
I like that story.
Firestorm combined with basically like just like he's like a
He's
Black
the evil
Lantern,
Firestorm.
Yeah, he's like evil, and they've had some cool storylines with that. We'll have to see what they do next. But season 8 has been a little bit better. CGI maybe a little better storyline, so maybe a bright spot. But I don't know. It's probably gonna get near its end. The cast is getting tired. Season 9 is confirmed though for next year. So we don't know. It's been confirmed. So
no. Here's how I know. Don't be so sure. It was confirmed we were getting a Wonder Twins movie.
Okay, but CW already put all its things out, so I think we're okay. We're okay for now.
No. Do not. I repeat, do not doubt Zaslav.
I'm holding out hope for the Flash because I remember the Flash when it was really good. So, and Stargirl has season 3 airing sometime soon. So Stargirl's kind of Arrowverse. It's kind of a weird situation, but we got that. We did get one new announcement. I'm not sure if you read this, Jared, but Gotham.
Knights. Gotham Knights.
So,
which I'm like,
I think we should talk about that a little bit. I'll pull up the description of the show.
Here's my question: why? Well, I can tell you why. The video game.
Right. I don't know. So it's weird because look, the Gotham Knights TV show is not related to the video game at all.
Yeah.
It's an independent project that's coming out later this year, and this is a universe where Batman has been killed, and now this is like the children of various Batman villains and heroes are gonna have to come together. I don't know, do something, and I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm gonna read the description for everyone. In the wake of Bruce Wayne's murder, his rebellious adopted son forges an unlikely alliance with the children of Batman's enemies when they are all framed for the killing of the Caped Crusader. And as the enemy's most wanted criminals, this renegade band of misfits must fight to clear their names. Okay, I don't know how I feel about that. But in a Gotham with no Dark Knight to protect it, the city descends into its most dangerous it's ever been. However, hope comes from the most unexpected of places as this team of mismatched fugitives will become its next generation of saviors.
They'll become the Breakfast Club.
The Breakfast Club. So already, I don't like this.
I don't like this either.
Because they're already doing the thing where Batman's not allowed to be in a TV show, so they get rid of him. And they're also like, it's focusing all the children of the villain, so you're not even allowed to use the Batman villain.
Yeah, I'm like, as soon as you tell me this, I'm like, okay, so you're making it Bat adjacent, like extremely Bat adjacent,
right? It's kind of like how
the game is using the Bat characters,
right? Like if it had those characters for like Bat, like it had Red Hood and stuff like that. So people are saying like, what's really the point of this? Isn't it kind of just like a watered down Titans? I don't know, but it's kind of like Bat. Like I guess maybe Damian or something like that, teaming up with the villains of other characters, like the villains' children, maybe like Two-Face's kid, or maybe like I don't know, Poison Ivy's kids, and they're gonna become like heroes. But it's kind of like already like focusing on kid characters, like teenage characters, and that.
In other words, it's business as usual at the CW.
Right. So that kind of puts me off. Like young adult would have been better. The fact they're already saying it to me like a teenage show.
What they could have done to make it remotely appealing is they could have just taken the characters and de-aged them. In other words, had like teenage young adult versions of Poison Ivy and all the Batman villains, and then just use them as the characters. That would have been remotely interesting.
You're right. And here's the one other small point I forgot to mention, slight detail that, just minor thing. So don't overreact, Jared. Don't hold on to your chair. The writers from Batwoman are coming over to do this show.
No! 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 Why? What did I do?
So
why am I being punished?
I think that's a really bad sign. I don't know.
That is extremely. Why do these people fail up? I don't understand this.
So I don't know. This could be like a very short series. So that's our next.
If that happens, because remember,
and there's no word if it's going to be ArrowVerse or if it's going to be just like on a different Earth for now, and maybe they'll bring it into the ArrowVerse.
Or that will even happen because knowing Zaslav.
Yeah. So who knows? For now, it's been greenlit. That's our only new show. And yeah, I kind of wish we had got the Justice U pilot greenlit or something like that. Maybe
that would have been cool.
That may still be in the works.
That would actually wait. Are you talking about a show where it's the Justice League is college students?
No, it's not the.
What's Justice U?
Justice U is like a pilot show. It would have John Diggle, from Arrow. He's gonna be like going around recruiting superheroes for the next generation of heroes.
So he's Nick Fury.
Kind of like Nick Fury, right? And he's gonna
that's interesting.
Go around be recruiting teenage superheroes.
That would have been better.
Some classic ones, some new ones. Obviously, Justice University or something like that. Mm-hmm. And it's still in the works. It could or could not happen. I'd be happy to see that because I really like Diggle. I think David Ramsey plays him pretty well.
Oh yeah, he does.
We'll have to see if that actually ends up happening. But
yeah. So as soon as you said Batwoman writer, and I'm like, no, I'm done.
Yeah, you're out then?
I'm out. Let me put it this way. I was out of the CW a long time ago.
Oh, really?
There's a certain amount of abuse that I will let my nerd points take before I'm like, I'm out. See you later.
Oh, man. So, yeah. That's where we're at in terms of the Arrowverse. And, there's rumors going around that Warner Brothers is going to, or Warner Bros. Discovery, Zaslav's going to sell the CW, or they may shut it down. So, who knows what's going to happen? Because they could shut down the CW and cancel these shows eventually. They could move them over to the new streaming service, HBO Max. I'm sure Superman Lois will be safe even if they get shut down.
They'll move that to HBO Max, and then that'll be great because guess what? More funding, and I love. By the way, it looks like a movie. That's why it's so good.
I know it's so good, and it's pretty separate from the rest of the Arrowverse. I mean, it's in the Arrowverse, but let's be real, it's its own thing.
There's a reason why they put it in Smallville.
Yeah. So I don't know, Jared. What's your take on this? We had so many shows canceled from DC.
The almighty axe of Zaslav is bloody tonight.
And now we only have a few shows left.
Flash is going to be canceled soon. Let me put it this way: if this season does not pick up, Zaslav will say, "I don't care if I authorize another season." Nope, you're done.
No, please.
It'll get to the point where the only Arrowverse show will be Superman and Lois, the only one.
That'd be crazy. Oh boy. And the sad thing is that October 10th this year is the 10-year anniversary of the Arrowverse. We're coming up on the 10-year anniversary,
and then everyone's been killed off.
Everything's getting shut down. Everything's getting canceled. It's really sad just to see this happen. I don't know, because I remember a time when the Arrowverse was so hyped, like the crossovers were so much fun.
It was the MCU for DC fans.
It really was. They did so many great things on the Arrowverse.
Again,
it was so
in
cool.
The beginning, it was so badass.
Yeah, it was really because it was like mature. Like Arrow when it came out, that was a very mature show. Like cool, awesome action.
Even though Flash it was Arrow's Batman, they had a cool version of Deathstroke.
Yeah.
They did stuff with the characters that was new, even though they made Arrow Batman. But and then they crossed over the shows. I had never seen that before.
That was so hype, but I don't know. It had a cool legacy, and it brought together basically like all the other shows and movies. It kind of created the continuity that, oh yeah, everything exists in the multiverse of DC.
And
It's kind
then
of
they
sad.
crossed over with the movies.
I know. Uh, it's just kind of sad that we've come to this point where the quality has just been dropping in all the CW stuff really so much that it's just it may be time just to end the
Yeah, I think what's
Arrowverse.
gonna happen is the reason why you're seeing all these shows getting canceled is Zaslav is preparing to sell off the CW, sell off
Yeah.
or axe it. That's what's
Yeah.
gonna happen. We're seeing the end of the CW.
I'm gonna show everyone this. It's the picture of the Flash.
I
You
saw
can't
that, and like on
you
the
can't
tombstone is like all the shows that got canceled.
right. You guys can't see it. Yeah, on the tombstone it has all the names of the shows that got shut down,
If you want to
and
send
Barry's
me,
just piece of,
if you want to send to me in a text, I can put up on my computer and
yeah.
share my screen.
I'll text it to Jared and he can.
But yeah, I
he can,
love that. That is yeah, because it's like so many shows. It's like it's kind of funny. Before I saw that meme, the gravity didn't hit me until
Yeah,
I saw it, and I was like, oh,
like what we've come to at this point, just like so many shows gone, and it's just insane to think about it. It's kind of sad. Like what we'll we'll transition to in a second, like what comes next,
all right, here we go. Look at look at this, and this is even before the other shows got canceled.
I love that picture of him over. This
Was
is a
that
picture
at
of
Oliver's funeral?
yeah. So this is what the picture is from. This is from Crisis on Infinite Earths, Oliver's grave, and they're preparing to do that scene where they have the memorial. And Grant Gustin went over and did this funny picture of like him peace outing on Oliver's grave, like making fun of him because it says Green Arrow, he was the hero of the city or whatever on the grave, and people now use that and will like edit it out and put other text on it. And he's like, so it works so great because like Flash and Superman and Lois are the only shows left. So
Yeah. Oh, trust me.
I think Barry can keep running just a little bit longer. I have hope
No,
in Barry.
I think the Flash character will be around. The show won't.
I think Grant Gustin can pull it off. Like the Armageddon storyline with
He'll
Reverse
run back
Flash
in
was-
time and convince Zaslav, no, my show is profitable.
Yes, I'm less crazy than Ezra Miller.
He goes back in time to Stephen Amell, and he goes, Zaslav, he's the key. He goes back in the suit.
Oh boy.
This is their nightmare timeline.
Yes. So
but this is not. It's not looking good. Let me it is not looking good.
So this is where I want to transition us into what do you think is going to happen? What's happening with Zaslav, Warner Bros. Discovery, DC stuff? Like,
so
are they planning to do a DC Studios? Because remember, when Marvel had its movies, but then the TV shows were a separate thing. They didn't have control over that. And when they made Marvel unilateral, the television and movies are all done by Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige in control. They canceled off the Netflix shows. They canceled off, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., all the other random shows, Cloak and Dagger. Everything was gone. And then so they could have a unilateral vision of the Marvel TV shows on Disney Plus and the Marvel movies. What do you think? Are we moving that direction for DC?
Yeah.
And
I think that what Zaslav is doing by canceling all these shows is he's doing what Marvel did when they canceled the Netflix shows. In other words, canceling any shows that aren't under DC. And then he's going to put DC as its own thing. Because here's the thing, and I was thinking about this today. This should have been the step they took the minute they decided to have a shared universe. Because I love this. Because the whole reason why we got Craptus League is because they were trying to copy Marvel. But here's the astounding part. They didn't copy what made Marvel successful. It's the idea they took the movies and said, you guys in suits, you don't touch this. Stay away. Let us do our job. Zaslav is like, why aren't we doing that?
Right.
So I think he's going to establish a DC. I think all of DC is going to be separate, not just the movies, the comics as well. And this is going to be how he gets a competitive edge on Marvel, because the Marvel things are still under Disney. Because the way he gets it is that another thing I think he's going to do, I just thought of this, is that we're going to start seeing a lot of these John Kent Superman characters go away, or like not be Superman anymore. And he's going to
multiple versions of Superman.
Yeah, we're not going to have multiple versions of characters anymore, because what he's trying to do is he's going to make these characters like he's going to have synergy with the movies. When you see Superman, you want Clark Kent Superman,
right?
Not his son. You can have his son be a different character, or even Superboy. That is fine, but not as Superman. If you're going to have Superman in the movies,
right?
What Marvel ran into in like when the MCU was starting off, because remember, this was doing all new, all different. So you would go to buy a Thor comic, say, because you saw Thor, and then you open it up and it's Jane Foster.
Yeah,
you're like, what? So
that's a bit.
So then I think that's why he's gonna take and separate and say, you guys have to work more synergistically. So then I think he's gonna say, okay, DC, while it's technically it's not going to be under Warner Brothers anymore, because you guys have really messed this up so many times. And even the chief financial officer of Discovery goes, Warner green lighted things that didn't make any sense. So that right there, and you notice, here's how you know that Zaslav was not happy with Warner's leadership. Half the people are fired. Have you seen? As many CW shows have been canceled, so many more executives have been fired.
Yeah,
either fired or their positions have been completely eliminated.
Right, a lot of people are moving out. I'm not sure if you guys saw, but the head of Cartoon Network just got fired.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, so he is cleaning house.
Maybe they'll stop airing Teen Titans Go all day, every day, and actually different shows on Cartoon Network now.
Yeah, I know. And I definitely think, to answer your question, lad, that they are going to make a DC Studios and say Warner has no say over this anymore. They can do their movies, but in terms of DC, we need DC to do what DC does best, and that's tell great stories with these characters. Because remember, there's no reason why DC should be second fiddle to Marvel. Absolutely no reason.
Right. I mean, that's the hope, right, guys? DC should be on competitive level with Marvel, because, I mean, Jared really believes that DC characters are better, like fundamentally.
Oh yeah.
Like, I know that's for you. DC characters are like top tier, better than Marvel. And if the execution could be there, the quality was there, DC could be topping Marvel in terms of what's going on.
And that's why I like the Snyderverse. I've said forever that the DCEU, early DCEU, was better than the entire MCU. And by early DCEU, I am not talking about Man of Steel, BVS, Wonder Woman, and Justice League. I'm talking about Man of Steel, BVS, Wonder Woman, to a certain extent Suicide Squad, but I haven't seen David Ayer's cut, and Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah.
It's the only versions that exist. So, because guess what? They're not all the same movie over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But my point is, why else do you think he's canceling all these D-tier things? Even in the article, the article said that like Zaslav was talking about how you have Superman, but you're not using Superman.
Yeah, that's true.
Why? What? Because here's the thing: you can have projects about all these different characters. You can have a Naomi show, but you have to firmly establish your core the Justice League's lead characters should have their own stuff first,
right?
And then you can expand and do like Swamp Thing or Naomi. Look this way: the ArrowVerse should have been all of the top DC characters, like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. That would have been a lot better if those three had shows, and then you had like Green Arrow or something like that.
I think you're right. Yeah.
And then I think it's going to conclude after he sells it. He's going to say, CW, you're done.
Right. Oof, boy. I mean, I think that right now they're I'm not sure if like I want to believe that DC's creating like a DC Studios where they're gonna have like a unilateral vision across the movies and TV shows, and it doesn't even all have to be on the same continuity. Like they can do separate continuities,
No,
like they've been
they can have
doing.
stuff. They can have the HBO Max stuff be separate from the movie stuff too.
Right. Marvel definitely has a thing where like everything is in continuity. That can be a double-edged sword. For now, they've done a really good job with it. I don't know how far. Maybe it'll get boring eventually, but for now, it's been working. DC's always been like, all right, we're just gonna do. We have some on CW, we have some on the HBO Max, we have some here and there. I don't know. Okay, that's my question for you. Do you think they're gonna try to have a unilateral vision, like keep everything on the same earth? Like I know Batman is separate, that Batman's fine,
No,
but do you
I
think
think
they're gonna have DCEU and the Batman universe and have
it.
only those two continuities?
No, it depends on the creator, what the creator wants to do. I think what they're going to do is like if Snyder comes back and say, "I want to do my stuff," they'll say, "Sure.
Mhm.
here's your." There's not going to be one continuity that we follow. There's going to be all these different continuities that come out as they come out. Like we're going to have the Reeves verse, the Snyder verse, the say someone came up and wanted to make a Super Friends movie. It'd be that verse,
Yes.
which
I'd be happy with
I
that.
honestly would see. But anyway, that's my point. There's going to be all these different like continuities depending on what the person did. Because the movie's good, maybe they'll make a franchise of it, and that'll be its own Earth there.
Hmm.
Because I don't think if you do a shared universe, you don't need to make it one continuity. You don't have to follow one Earth. That's why I think the MCU. That's why I think the shared universe is going to get stale eventually, and arguably it's getting to that point right now because it's just one thing. We know how this works. When you have the Snyderverse, you have like let's say you have a Zack Snyder stuff. Then you have the Matt Reeves Batman, which is wholly different from this person, but that still exists in its own shared continuity.
Right.
That's what I think is going to happen.
Hmm.
What about you?
It's a good point. I don't know. Like I feel like they've always been open to having just lots of random properties. I wonder if I think they could try to keep everything in continuity as much as possible. Obviously, Joker and Batman are separate things, but I feel like they may want to try to get a cohesive vision instead of having random properties everywhere. I don't know which way they'd go with it. They may want to go Marvel's route, even if it's good or bad. They may want to try to emulate Marvel and just cancel off like Doom Patrol, Titans, all that in the next year or two, and just have a unilateral vision
Well,
going
first
forward.
off, I think also they're going to look at what's actually bringing views. That's why I
Right.
said the Flash has to pick it up because if the Flash show turns into what it's been for the past few seasons, guess what? Axe.
Yeah, I
It
think you're
doesn't
right.
matter. That's why I'm saying don't be so confident that it's going to make it to that ninth season.
Uh huh.
And which is sad, but guess what? It's self-inflicted wounds. All these CW writers, they got too high on their laurels and they said, "Oh, we can do no wrong." And then guess what they did? They
Yeah.
did wrong.
Oh boy.
And let me put it this
So
way: it pains me to say when DC stuff is not good. It very much pains me, but it must be said. Comics leaguers, that I will always be honest with you about my
right.
opinions.
I mean, yeah. I think that's right.
So I think it's a good place to leave this conversation right now. I hope you guys enjoyed that rant about what's going on with the CW. What do you guys think about with Warner Brothers? Do you think it's 100% that they're going to form like DC Studios, that they're going to separate DC from Warner Brothers, which is what they should do? Or do you think they're going to do like more what Marvel does, or what do you think? Or do you think that we're going to see the complete end of the Arrowverse? In that the only show that's going to survive is Superman and Lois. That's it. Or do you think that maybe they'll give the shows that like a couple of years off and then they'll bring them back? What do you guys think? Drop in the comments below. We'll be sure to check them out and respond to you. So, and then be sure to check out tomorrow. I have a live stream with Isaac the Film Geek and Nick from Phoenix Studios, where we'll be talking a lot about the Snyder fandom being accused of cheating on the Oscar fan favorite moment, even though we totally didn't. We just voted more. That's why No Way Home lost. All right, you know what else beat No Way Home? Cinderella.
Oh boy.
So anyway, I just thought I wanted to put that in there. So first off, I'm very happy to have Lad back. It's been too long since you and I have done an episode together.
No, I'm glad I could hop back on. It was a fun discussion. I really want to talk about that because we've been messaging back and forth like, this just got canceled. This just got canceled. And so we had to talk about it. It's a big discussion. It could be signs of what's to come with DC, hopefully for the good.
Oh, I definitely think it's for the good. I have faith in our Lord and Savior Zaslav. Because let me put it this way, the minute he canceled Batwoman, I was like, this guy knows what's up. The minute the one I did not expect, Lad, was Naomi season 1.
Right. You think maybe at least season 2, but that's like
that never happened before.
Right. That's pretty wild.
In the CW is what I mean.
13 episodes. That's pretty short. So
although I am kind of sad because you know who showed up who did a cameo in the episode is Ray Porter, the actor who plays Darkseid in the Snyderverse.
Oh, he showed up on Naomi.
Yes, I didn't watch it, but I just saw he posted about it, so I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool.
That's kind of cool.
Anyway, and what would you say was the best Arrow show in its prime? In other words, back when the Arrow was good, what would you say was the best one? Mine is Arrow.
I never actually got into Arrow because I was too dark for me, but I know, but I liked the character a lot. But Flash,
yeah, you know what's kind of funny? When Flash showed up in Arrow for the first time, when Barry Allen shows up, I'm like, where have I heard that name before? It didn't stick with me until I see the end of the episode. He gets struck by lightning. I'm like, it's the freaking Flash.
I know. I Flash, like season 1, season 2, season 3 were so good.
Yeah.
I binge watched those so much.
I will say this for Flash. It gave us possibly the greatest, and I mean this in all mediums, the greatest version of Eobard Thawne of all time.
Oh, yes.
Eobard Thawne, Leonard Snart, that show knew how to cast villains to their people.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, it was me with Arrow because, yes, it was pretty much a Batman show. But I did like how, like, he brought in, like, it slowly, his circle of trust expanded. It showed, like, how he teamed up with Deathstroke on the island. Granted, there were times when the transition back to the island was a little jarring and a little stupid, particularly when he left the island and then came back because he wanted to come home. Then to the point where he went to Star City.
Yeah.
During that 5 years.
It feels like an episode of Gilligan's Island.
It does.
From the old days. And it's like they like almost leave or they leave or they come back or whatever.
Yeah,
just
it's Gilligan's Island if Gilligan left the island.
Right. It's pretty wild. It's like come on. He was able to get off that island.
Let's not all forget. They show that I'm sure Lad and I both agree was fantastic in its prime. It's Legends of Tomorrow. That was I remember I saw the first episode on TV when it premiered.
Oh, nice.
I was so excited, and I remember like even though the Vandal Savage character was not exactly Vandal Savage, although I did love it was just this great. I love the interplay between Mick Rory and Snart. Particularly, like when Snart assumes the role of leadership, he's like, "I'm obviously the leader."
Yeah.
And that first battle scene where you see all of them like in slow motion, it's like a Zack Snyder movie.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the first season, but season 2 was also a little bit okay. But I really just didn't like the direction actually after they started just going into a little too crazy for me. But I know it's just kind of sad to see what the ArrowVerse has become. Hopefully, there's some bright side at the end of the tunnel, something for people to enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, regardless, we'll still have the shows on Netflix that we can always watch and enjoy.
That's right.
Which I still watch, like occasionally, like the early seasons of Arrow when they start teasing Deathstroke.
Yep.
Even though it was an Australian Deathstroke, I didn't care because that dude was fantastic.
Yeah.
I love when he comes to Star City and systematically takes apart Oliver's life because of Shadow's death. I was like, yes, thank you
So good.
so much. All right,
But-
so I think that's a good place to leave it. And thank you guys so much for watching. We've been enjoying seeing you guys involved with our content more. In fact, we reached 156 subscribers.
Yes, we did.
So it's hard to believe because it's like, and I remember when we were stuck at 32 subscribers. It was like it wasn't growing. And then Wes and Max came on the show, and then that just exploded.
Yep.
We have lots of great content. We look forward to delivering you guys quality and mostly positive, although I'm really excited for my Halo review coming up soon. Anyone that has seen episode 8 of Halo knows what I'm talking about. And even Lad, he knows what happened in that episode. And he even asked me, Jared, how do you feel about what happened in the episode? And I said, don't even get me. You know me. You can look back at the backlog of episodes. I've tried to remain very positive about the show, but this even went beyond me.
You'll have to tune in next time. Same bat time, same bat channel, everyone.
Yes, exactly. Same bat channel. All right, stay. Lado, it was a pleasure having you back. Please come back for more videos.
Yes, definitely.
And all right, guys, have a great weekend. I will see you in the next and tomorrow for the live stream. Stay at work, everyone. Bye-bye.
See ya.